Today I'm backpacking in the Bald River Gorge Wilderness in the Southern District of the Cherokee National Forest. I thought I would describe a bear bagging technique that I've been using since 2011. It's basically 2 cords and a ring, and this particular system I'm using today weighs 3 ounces. I have 2 cords. One is a 1.75 millimeter Zing It with a small steel ring attached, and the other is a 2 millimeter utility cord. This is air core, but any utility cord will work. And I've got a small S-Biner attached to that. Prior to 2011, I was using the PCT method of bear bagging, and actually did a video. A friend of mine shot a video, and I'll put the link to that below. But I was getting ready to do a 10-day backpacking trip in the Smoky Mountains National Park, and I just felt like it was going to be difficult pulling, starting out at 22 pounds of food over a limb. So I came up with this method to make it easier to pull up heavy loads. The first thing we want to do is to unwind both of these cords. The next thing that we want to do is to take this ring that is on the yellow cord, the Zing It, which we'll call the throw line, and then the S-Biner, which is on the utility cord, the orange utility cord that we'll call the pull line. I'm going to run the S-Biner through the ring, and then temporarily I will just take this loop that is on the end of the pull line and just wrap it around a tree and click it together to form a fixed loop so that this pull line doesn't go over the limb. So I've run this pull line through the ring. I'm just going to wrap this around a close by tree just to secure this end of the cord. Next, I'm going to put a rock or some rocks in this stuff sack and attach it to the cord to throw it over the limb. Normally I like to use one rock about the size of a baseball, but in this case I didn't have one handy, so I just picked up 4 little small rocks, put them in the bag, and then to the other end of the Zing It cord, I have a very small S-Biner attached. I'm going to clip that to the rock bag. I found the limb. This particular limb is kind of small, just to illustrate how flexible this system is. You don't have to have some large limb or some large fork to throw through. Sometimes you do get lucky and make it on the first throw. Now that we have the throw line over the limb, I'm going to disconnect the rock bag. The next thing is to pull this throw line until you get the ring at what you think is the proper elevation. Sometimes that is a little trial and error method to back and forth as you get the ring the right height, the right distance away from the tree. Next is to secure this end of the rope, so I will wrap this around the main tree. And in this case, since I've got so much excess rope, instead of wrapping it around this limb 10 or 20 times, I will pull it off to another tree to take up some of the excess cord. Since this cord is so thin, and it's difficult to tie a knot in it and get it untied, I've just wrapped it around the tree, and then I'm going to just clip it onto the cord and then just kind of pull it tight. Now I'm going to come back over to the pull line, the orange utility cord we had wrapped around the other tree. Unclip it, then run the carabiner through the handle of the food bag, and then just clip it onto the utility cord. By using this technique, this enables you to use a much smaller and lighter weight carabiner, or in this case I've used an S-Biner. Now I'm going to just pull on the pull cord and pull the food bag up to the top of the ring. The really nice thing about this system is there's almost no friction on the cord. You're not pulling the cord over a rough tree limb. You're just pulling it through that ring. It's easy to pull up heavy loads. As you can see, it really is pretty flexible. Now, the next thing I want to do is to tie this pull line off to another tree. Now we have the bear bag fully hung. I have about 6 feet of clearance on all sides from the bear bag. Typically I prefer 10, but 6 I consider to be the absolute minimum. Now there's one aspect of taking down the bear bag I'd like to show you. I'd like to take this small S-Biner off of the end of the rope before I pull the rope or pull the cord over the limb. One time I got a carabiner stuck in a fork of a tree trying to do that, and I learned that lesson the hard way. The small S-Biner is attached to the Zing It cord using a girth hitch and a slip knot. The girth hitch is very simple. You can look it up on YouTube or the internet to see what it is. The slip knot, when I untie it to pull down the cord from the limb, you have to make sure that it doesn't get twisted, so I kind of move it slowly and keep the loop from getting twisted. And then at the last little bit, just kind of pull it hard. And then once I've got the S-Biner off, I can remove the cord from the tree limb. To make the S-loop, or the slip knot, to make the slip knot, just create a loop and then pull the loose end up through there, up through the knot, and it moves freely, so you can kind of adjust it. And then take the loop, run it through one end of the S-Biner, and then run it over the top of the S-Biner and pull it tight. It's a pretty secure knot. I've never had any problems with it, even pulling up 22 pounds of food. Finally, I want to add, when you finish hanging your food bag, make certain that the food bag is at least 10 feet high. I prefer 12. And also, again, make certain there's at least 6 foot clearance on all sides of the food bag from any limbs or either trees nearby. I hope this has helped, and I hope on your next backpacking trip you're able to get out and experiment with this bear bagging technique. Thanks for watching.